Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today, President Trump has signed a $400 billion budget deal, ending a brief federal government shutdown that happened while most of us were asleep. ABC's Tara Palmieri reports from Washington.
The second shutdown in less than a month ended early this morning with votes in both House and Senate.
The motion is adopted without objection. A motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
Despite support from a majority of Republicans and Democrats, for nearly 9 hours the government was officially closed because of one senator. Kentucky's Rand Paul objected to the budget deal because it increases the deficit.
I don't advocate for shutting the government down, but neither do I advocate for keeping it open and borrowing $1 million a minute.
For hours, Paul held up a vote on the bipartisan agreement brokered by Senate leaders.
My friend and colleague from Kentucky does not join the president in supporting the bill. And it's his right, of course, to vote against the bill. But I would argue that it's time to vote.
On the House side, many Democrats were upset that the agreement does nothing to protect the undocumented immigrants brought to the country as children.
If another country said that they were going to deport 800,000 people or place in jeopardy their protections under the law, we would be appalled.
But House Speaker Ryan called the bill a true compromise measure.
This agreement will also allow us to step off this carousel of short-term funding bills that do nothing but hurt our military and stymie our ability to focus on other important agenda items.
After he signed the bill to reopen the government, President Trump tweeted that it was a big victory for our military. In another tweet, he said they would get down to the negotiations on the fate of the Dreamers soon. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
A historic moment in South Korea earlier today as U.S. Vice President Mike Pence was seated near the sister of North Korea's leader at the opening ceremony of the 2018 Olympic Winter Games. Kim Yo-jong, the sister of Kim Jong-un, sat in a row behind the vice president. She is the first member of the North's ruling dynasty to visit the South since the end of the Korean War in 1953. Russian hackers may have managed to breach U.S. voter registrations in several states, but not here in Florida. According to Homeland Security, 5 counties in the state were targeted by Russian hackers through email. Hillsborough, Pasco, Citrus, and Clay counties confirming that they got emails, but said they did not open them. The one county that did open the email, Volusia County, said it did not open the attached document that would have breached the system. Here on the Suncoast, just one day after Mote Marine Lab announced plans to build a new aquarium in Sarasota County, a Sarasota City Commissioner says he's disappointed in City Manager Tom Barwin. Hagan Brody says this is the 3rd time in recent months Barwin has allowed an asset to leave the city. ABC 7's Ray Collins joins us now with details of the story. Ray?
Scott, Commissioner Brody says he's seen a growing trend, and he says he's not pleased. The most recent event involves Mote Marine's plans to leave the city and build a $135 million aquarium at Nathan Benderson Park in Sarasota County. Brody says losing 300,000 tourists a year on City Island is a big loss. He says this isn't the first time in recent months something like this has happened either.
I think this is part of a growing and worrisome trend of assets fleeing the city. You look at the Players Theater moving out to Lakewood Ranch from downtown. You look at affordable housing projects, Ben Groff's project moving out of the city. He couldn't get that done with city staff. And now this, and it's a very short period of time, and it's very frustrating to see. So we're going to put the pressure on the city manager and city staff to make sure we see a change.
There's a feeling that City Island couldn't really accommodate any more traffic. As you know, we almost hear on a daily basis the transportation modes that people have getting out to Longboat Key, St. Armands, Lido Beach. And doubling or tripling that traffic with a aquarium 3 times the size of the current one would be a difficult situation.
Commissioner Brody also admits he's disappointed the city gave Mote a rent of $1 a year on prime city-owned land for decades, helped build their brand only to have them leave the city, but he says Mote has to look out for Mote. Scott?
All right, Ray, thank you. Happening in Florida, there's still work to do, but state lawmakers have passed dueling budgets for 2018. Lawmakers have until early March, to work out their differences of the $87 billion state budget in order to end the annual session on time. The key areas where spending varies the most are public schools, state universities, and environmental programs. Some House Democrats say the budget does not spend enough money on affordable housing and mental health programs. And Florida students who are bullied may soon be able to get private school vouchers, reimbursement for private tutors, or move to a new school under a new education bill. Students who are victims of any violence whatsoever will potentially have more options. If the education bill is passed, it would also include a program for students in third grade who perform poorly on standardized tests. Those students' parents would receive a refund for money spent on tutors. 2 Florida lawmakers want the state to ban conversion therapy for minors. Conversion therapy is a practice where a doctor or therapist attempts to change the sexual orientation of a person, often through prayer and counseling. Supporters of the bill say most reputable psychiatric groups oppose the practice, but therapists are still using it.
They were gay when they went to conversion therapy. Some of them lied to themselves and to others just to get out of it and said they weren't. But today they're all proud and out and openly gay. So I've never met anyone that said that it worked.
At least 9 other states have already outlawed conversion therapy. Neither the House nor the Senate version of the bill has been heard yet, with just about 4 weeks left in the session. Florida drivers may soon be able to get a discount on traffic tickets if they're willing to take a driver improvement course. This newly approved bill only applies to non-criminal traffic tickets, and the option is only available once a year and up to 5 times total. All right, time to get a check on our weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. The weekend nearly here, and the weather seems pretty nice.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We got a frontal boundary actually decaying over the center part of the state. And that usually leads to a lot more cloud cover than we're seeing out there right now. It just shows the strength of the high pressure ridge surrounding us and the effect of that easterly wind flow coming in. But yeah, it's nice out there. Definitely more humid though. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's back. The humidity is back and it'll be with us. The good news is that this morning we had an easterly wind flow so that the sea fog that plagued some parts of the Suncoast yesterday and certainly much of the west central part of Florida wasn't really a problem today because it was kept back out at sea. So that was good news. Plus, I think we'll see over the course of the afternoon a chance at seeing some showers around. A few scattered showers anyway, but a lot of sunshine around boosting our temperatures already. We're at 81 degrees across the region in Sarasota and many places closing in on that 80-degree mark now even as we speak. It will be a warm day today, and in fact that's a trend that's going to carry us right straight into the weekend. We'll go with about an 83-degree daytime high temperature with a 20% chance of an isolated shower or sprinkle, kind of that chance lingering into the early evening hours, dissipating pretty quickly though after the sun sets. Over the course of the hour, we'll talk about this sun-cloud mix, how long that lasts. We'll talk about the inland showers and whether or not we'll see that throughout the weekend. And we'll also take a look at this warm weather and whether or not that's going to stay with us into the extended range forecast. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. There are 2 new local scam alerts you need to know about. ABC 7 Stephanie Webb is here to explain how you can avoid being ripped off. Stephanie?
Thanks, Scott. Well, the first one calls for you to deposit thousands of dollars from what seems to be a legitimate check. Here's how it works. You get a letter in the mail inviting you to make extra money as a paid mystery shopper in your area. Sounds pretty good. You soon receive a large check that looks real with instructions to deposit the check into your account and then wire all but a couple $100 right back to the company. Now, it looks like the money is supposed to cover purchases at the store that you have been a mystery shopper at. But of course, a few days later, that check bounces and you are out of cash. Now remember, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. And with tax season comes scam season, and there are already a few making the rounds right here on the Suncoast. According to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, a scammer called a Bradenton woman, told her that she was under investigation for tax fraud and that she would have to pay $500 or an arrest warrant would be issued. Now the victim realized it was a scam and called authorities. Now, if you receive any calls like this, first, do not send any money. Do not give them your social security number or any account information, and then immediately report it to local law enforcement. All right, back to you, Scott.
Stephanie, thank you. Great advice. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how a local group is lending a helping hand to make this tax season a little easier. And more on a major move expected to be announced later today by the Tampa Bay Rays.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you, too.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment, and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So it's a warm day, no doubt about it. We're up to 81 degrees already, and we have a fair amount of cloud cover out there. And we have plenty of sunshine as well, kind of mixed up together in the weather bag this morning. We're looking at temperatures continuing to rise thanks to that sunshine. And I think as we head into the second half of the afternoon, we'll probably see a little bit more cloud cover around than we will sunshine. We'll probably end up with a either partly cloudy or mostly cloudy sky by the time we get into the early evening hours. 66 degrees, our dew point right now. We have a south-southeast wind coming in at about 15. That southeasterly component to the wind helping to really pump moisture up and bringing our dew points into the mid-60s, probably upper 60s before it's all said and done. Temperature coming in at 83 degrees for a daytime high, I suspect, with about a 20% chance of showers. Now these showers, let me characterize them as kind of isolated showers, maybe patches of light rain. I doubt we'll see any thunderstorm activity. But we will see a few of these showers around. Now, the total rainfall amounts not going to be all that great. It's not going to really add to the rainfall bucket all that much. But they'll be around, so you'll want to know that as you head out the door. They'll probably linger till around the 7 o'clock hour, and then they'll dissipate away. 3 p.m., 83 degrees, 75 degrees by 7 p.m., and by 12 a.m., midnight, 68 degrees. You wake up tomorrow morning, I think it'll be pretty nice. We'll have temperatures in the 60s and little in the way of any kind of a rain chance then. So if you have an early tea time or you want to play a little tennis in the morning, should be just fine for that. Temperatures, 81 degrees in Parrish, Bradenton, Venice. As we go into the noontime hour and then into 3 o'clock, we'll see a few of the showers start to build. Mostly inland at first, but those showers riding on that general easterly to southeasterly wind will travel off to the northwest or to the north. And they'll probably become more widespread as we head into the 4, 5 o'clock hour, but they'll still be kind of isolated. And then as we head into the evening, they'll dissipate away. I think this particular computer model kind of overdoes the number of showers that we get, but you see the idea. They're kind of isolated and kind of sporadic is the word, I guess. Then tomorrow morning after midnight, we'll start to see things really quiet down. Got some lake effect snow showers as well as showers associated with a Clipper system producing some heavy snowfall in the Chicago area, also Detroit, Cleveland, on up into down east Maine even. So if you're traveling today, that part of the country is going to be kind of a slow go with that low pressure area lifting off that way. We have a stalled frontal boundary sitting over the state of Florida. It was a warm front. Now it's stalled out. It'll eventually just kind of wash away across the region. Sun, cloud mix, isolated sprinkles or showers, and then warm temperatures all weekend, unseasonably warm, right straight through the 7-day forecast. Beach and boating forecast calls for a northwest wind coming in at about 10 this afternoon, late afternoon shifting around to the east at about 10 overnight. We'll bring you a light chop. And the forecast calls for 20% chance of rain today. And then tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds, 82 the temperature. As we head into Sunday, another chance of showers at about 20% with another little approaching system that, again, never really bothers us all that much, doesn't make it into the area, washes away. It does not bring us any colder air. 82 degrees on Monday, on Tuesday, 84 degrees. And then on Valentine's Day, should be very nice indeed with an evening temperature in the 70s. We should have plenty of sunshine around, and I don't see any rainfall in Wednesday's forecast at this time. And Thursday will come in again at about 81. Scott?
Right, John, thank you. In consumer news, tax season is in full swing, meaning this is time to get started on your tax returns. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us now with a look at how to make the process easy and an organization that's lending a helping hand in this season.
Tax season is in full swing. If you plan to file your own taxes this year, you're not alone. About 33% of Americans file their own taxes yearly. If you plan to be a part of that percentage, there are a few ways to make the tax filing process easy. First, make sure you know the filing deadline, which is April 17th. Filing before that date will help you avoid any penalties for filing late or not filing at all. Also, review last year's returns. Taking a look at that information could make this year easier. Last year's returns will have all Social Security numbers for dependents and employer ID numbers, so you don't have to go into that filing cabinet or briefcase. One last thing, make sure to double and triple check your return. Any mistake can cause you a big headache and could possibly lead you to receiving the wrong refund. If you don't want the weighty responsibility of filing your taxes on your own, United Way Suncoast and the Manatee Community Action Agency is lending a helping hand this season. They are doing taxes for free of charge for anyone who made less than $66,000 last year. There are about 22 locations across Manatee and Sarasota counties, and all you need to do is bring last year's return, your Social Security card, a photo ID, and of course, your W-2s and tax statements. You can find a list of all those locations on our website, www.mysuncoastnews.com. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. Let's get check in now with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. She's joining us live today at Côte France in Venice. Judy?
You know, I discovered this little gem about 7 months ago, and it continues to bring that authenticity of true French cuisine. They're serving lunch now, so they're open for lunch and dinner, and they have indoor and outdoor seating. It is just lovely and very authentic. You'll get a chance to meet the owners that are from France, of course, and you'll get to see some of my favorite dishes. If you're looking for that classic piece like French onion soup and beef bourguignon, that's what they have, but they have so much more. You're going to really get to explore the experience, and we'll show you around this adorable little building tucked right in the corner on Tampa Avenue in Venice. I think you're going to really love this, so stay tuned. We bring you authenticity straight from France at Côte France right here in Venice.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Mark Zupan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Now it's time to meet our pet of the week. Marsha Panucci joining us here with a little kitty cat. Oh, she's got a black kitty cat. I had one just like this color.
And he brought you, or she brought you all the luck in the world,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely did. Absolutely did. Sweet little kitty. Look how.
This is
just
Gimo.
Loving it, yeah.
And he's 2 years old. And if you want a true lap cat, this is the guy for you. Now look at those gorgeous eyes.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yes, but he's very, very relaxed. He's laid back, but he is a social butterfly, excuse me, and he loves to be around people. But when he wants his downtime, it's your lap he's gonna go to, for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
He's such a sweet kitty. Do we know anything about him? How old? Or?
We know that he's 2 years old.
That's young.
Yeah, he's very, very healthy. Likes to ride in cars if you are so inclined to take him. And you know what else? He loves to watch television. John.
Is that right?
Yes.
What's he think about the weather?
Well, I don't know about the weather, but he has 2 favorite shows, Cat TV, and guess what else? Animal Outtakes.
Well, he's got good taste then.
Yes,
obviously.
he has, and I'm sure that he watches you at the noon hour for the news and the weather.
Sweetheart. Now, he's not a small cat. He's kind of got some heft to him. He's a good kitty.
Listen, he's fully grown, or just about so, at 2 years of age. He's certainly the right weight, and I just love black cats. I think they look so rich, and if you notice, his coat is just very, very shiny, and of course, so much can be told from the coats because it tells you that they're healthy.
Plus, they make the eyes stand out. I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A dark-furred cat really makes the eyes stand out. And this cat, oh look at him. He's in heaven right now. His little motor is just running full blast.
Oh yeah, and so Gimo today is presented by Cat Depot, and you can call them at 941-366-2404. Come in, fill out an application.
Okay, Gimo, you're gonna have to wake up. Certainly, I'm gonna have to.
This may be a little tough here.
Yes, he looks very well rested. Well, thank you so much, Martha, for bringing him.
Thank you, John.
Marsha, have a great weekend. Cat Depot, give him a call. Take this kitty home and give her a loving home for the rest of his life. Beautiful kid. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's check in with Judy and see what. That's the second time in a week I've done that.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm in good company. I don't care.
Judy, what you got going on?
John, I got to tell you, this might be the third Friday in a row you called me Marcia, and I take that as a compliment. We're here at Côte France, and I am so excited that we get to talk to the owner a bit and find out your experience. Tell us where you come from and what brought you here to Venice, Florida.
Okay, so we come from France, the south of France, a small town called Montpellier, and we made a few years ago a tour of Florida on motorcycle.
Wow!
Yes, it was a wonderful trip, And we had a big problem with the motorcycle. We had to fix it. And the only town where we could fix the motorcycle was on Venice. So we arrived in this very small town, pretty town, and had a few hours and a night to spend to visit. And after a few hours, Stefan and me said, wow, what a pretty town compared to other big cities in Florida or the other coast.
Right.
Then we continued the travel and we came back home. A few years later, 2 years later, Stefan says to me, Miriam, would you like to go back to Florida? I said, yes, why not? It's a nice country where I do like. So we went to Louisiana with a motorcycle. We took the motorcycle, and then we were driving to Key West, and we saw on the US 41 Venice. And we said, oh, do you remember when we had to fix the motorcycle in this little town? We decided to stop, and we walked by here on this street, and we spoke with the owner of the restaurant, and he said, I would like to sell my restaurant. And our project was to change plenty of things in our life, and we said, why not?
Boy, that is the epitome of living life well done.
Exactly. So we made the decision to come here, sell everything we had in France, so we have nothing more in France now. Our life is here. We have a restaurant, we have a house, we have some friends. We are very happy to be here today.
It's wonderful. Now, quickly, tell us about the hours of operation and serving lunch and dinner.
Okay, so we serve lunch from Tuesday to Friday, from 11 to 3 o'clock. Then we close the restaurant for the break. We were open at 5 for dinner until close. Saturday and Sunday is a little bit different because we make brunch, so we open a little bit early, and we propose to the customers breakfast like they can find in Paris with French baguette, French croissant, etc.
Okay. And you're going to find so much more as we come back in just a few minutes and talk about the great cuisine right in front of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Drive a brand new 2018 Lincoln MKC for $279 per month or the Lincoln MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment. Every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC7 wherever you are on our live stream on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Coming up, the stock market has had a bad week. Will the wild ride continue today on Wall Street? We'll check the numbers. Plus, where the Tampa Bay Rays may soon be building a new ballpark. And what happened when Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies came face to face with an alligator.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Our top story this half hour, the wild ride on Wall Street could continue today after the Dow plunged more than 1,000 points yesterday. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more on what the recent decline could mean for the rest of 2018 and beyond.
Investors are bracing for another wild day on Wall Street. The Dow is already on a roller coaster ride today after yesterday's 1,000-point plunge, the second biggest one-day point drop in history. The biggest? That happened just 4 days ago on Monday. The Dow is now down 10% from its high in January in what analysts are calling an official correction.
It's an opportunity for people to get back in and for the market to adjust to what some people think is a bit more of a correct price for markets relative to the company earnings that they are based on.
Experts tell ABC News the market nosedives actually over anxiety the economy's doing too well too quickly. More people have jobs and wages are up. All of this good news could trigger the Federal Reserve to hike rates in order to keep inflation under control.
The real concern is that if we get good news, it suggests that actually maybe our economy might be overheating.
The record-setting drops are putting world markets on edge.
That triggered a major sell-off in global stock markets, including Hong Kong.
Asia markets followed Wall Street and took a hit on Friday, the first time in 2 years.
But analysts say not to worry too much just yet. You can think of it this way. If you invested $1,000 in your 401k a year ago, the average investor would still be up about 12%, making that money now $1,125. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Let's take a live look at the current market conditions. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial's down a little more than 300 points. That's about 1.25% at this hour as the down days continue, but again, much better than what we've had earlier this week when we were down more than 1,000 points on 2 of the days this week. Here on the Suncoast, a Northport High School student is in custody after police say he threatened to harm other students. Last night, police received several tips that a student was making threats on social media. Police say they looked into it, they arrested the teen responsible, and police say they are confident the campus is safe today. And new at noon, Bradenton Christian School placed on lockdown this morning after a man was threatening parents and students. School officials say the man, who was driving in a gray sedan, pulled up to the school and started yelling at students, making inappropriate comments. The superintendent says a heavy police presence will stay on campus throughout the day, but that there is no current threat, and Bradenton police are now investigating the incident. A busy and dangerous intersection in Manatee County is causing some serious problems. There have been a large number of crashes at the intersection in front of Greyhawk Landing development along State Road 64. One of the crashes even killed a resident of that neighborhood. Now some people who live in the area are asking for a traffic signal at the intersection.
happening lately is it's 3 and 4 car accidents, which puts everybody's life in jeopardy. And we have so many young drivers too in Grayhawk, and that makes it even more difficult.
It's been a constant danger. We're all a bit afraid leaving the intersection every morning, especially if you're turning left. It's almost it's a death trap is probably the best way to put it.
Florida Department of Transportation officials say they are aware of the concerns and are working on a temporary solution. A long-term solution is a roundabout, which they say is still a few years away. The Sarasota YMCA is on the road to recovery after Hurricane Irma, thanks to an award from the Community Foundation of Sarasota County. The Y receiving $15,000 through the Hurricane Irma Relief and Recovery Fund to help pay for property damage at YMCA facilities. Sarasota Y programs serve around 50,000 people in the Sarasota area. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies don't just fight crime, they also wrangle alligators. The Sheriff's Office posting this video on social media of 2 deputies trying to remove the 4-foot gator. He found his way to the Winn-Dixie parking lot on Fruitville Road and the Target Plaza underneath a car there. They wrestled him for a few minutes before eventually tying him up and putting him in the back of their vehicle to get him to a maybe a little better location than the Winn-Dixie parking lot. Maybe he was hungry, but I don't know.
Mating season, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that go through April, I think?
Yeah, through the spring, and
yeah,
they tend to wander.
They wander around.
Yeah.
Now looking for gator love. we have on the Suncoast here a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. A lot of sunshine around. Now we did start off the morning with a little bit of cloud cover in places, but that is really giving way to sunshine. And I think as we head into the afternoon, that sunshine will probably see us with a daytime high temperature in the lower 80s today, well above average by 10, 12 degrees. Now we've also established an easterly wind flow that's helped to kind of knock back the fog problem this morning. And that easterly wind is also picking up a few scattered showers from the other coast, kind of drawing them back in this direction. There won't be many of them around, but there'll be a few. Bigger shower and thunderstorm activity in parts of the deep south. We'll talk about that and its impact on our weather in a few. Temperatures across the region generally hugging the 80-degree mark right now. We'll get up to about 83 with a 20% chance of an isolated shower later today and into the early evening hours, dissipating pretty quickly after 7 and leaving us with an overnight temperature in the 60s. Complete forecast for you in a second.
All right, John, thank you. Happening today after years of speculation, the Tampa Bay Rays are expected to announce the team's intention to move from St. Petersburg to Tampa. Hillsborough County Commissioner Ken Hagan telling the Tampa Bay Times the Rays' preferred location for a new ballpark is on the outskirts of Ybor City. The team has scheduled a news conference for 1:30 this afternoon at the Tampa Baseball Museum. We'll have much more on that announcement coming up in our evening newscast beginning at 5 o'clock. Happening in Florida, a new effort in the fight against Zika and other mosquito-borne illnesses. Instead of killing the mosquitoes, Miami-Dade County officials are releasing genetically engineered male mosquitoes. Now, the males don't bite, only the females, and these mosquitoes are infected with a bacterial infection that after mating will kill a female mosquito's offspring and stop the spread of diseases.
We're releasing many thousands of sterile males, or I should say effectively sterile males. Those matings, when they take place, none of the progeny survive.
Between now and July, nearly 1 billion mosquitoes will be released in South Miami. A 4th person has been hit by a new high-speed train that began running last month on Florida's East Coast. The Sun-Sentinel reports a man was taken to the hospital last night. Police say he's likely suffered a broken arm when a Brightline train hit him near Fort Lauderdale. They did not say how the man was hit. Last month, the Brightline train struck and killed a man on a bike. A week earlier, a woman ducked underneath the gate and was killed. A pedestrian survived after being hit by the train. Brightline has put out several statements urging people not to race the train. Caught on camera, a boy desperate for a stuffed toy crawls into a claw-style arcade game, and you guess what? He got stuck. Yeah, this has happened before, and it happened at a restaurant in Titusville this time. Store security video shows it happening, though it is a little hard to see, but 2 or 3 kids first investigate the machine, and then the one decides to go for it. You can see his legs disappearing into the hole.
In my over 20 years in the fire service, I have never seen anything like this.
The machine is now disabled until it can be removed or made safer. The restaurant owner says he's inviting the family and the firefighters back to dinner to tell their stories. And cell phone video out of Australia shows how wild weather made for dangerous conditions when a hot air balloon crash lands in Australia. 7 passengers were injured when the balloon slammed into the ground with 15 tourists and the pilot on board. The Australian authorities are now investigating exactly what caused it to go down. Here in the Suncoast, it's not too late to get out and vote. Early voting in the special election for State House District 72 seat will end tomorrow. 3 candidates are on the ballot: Democrat Margaret Good, Republican James Buchanan, and Libertarian Allison Foxall. Only voters who live in the Sarasota district can take part in the election. You can cast your ballot at any of the 3 early voting sites or on Election Day, Tuesday, February 13th. This weekend, Sarasota Mayor Shelley Freeland Eddy will hold her very first digital town hall meeting. She'll be talking about ways to revitalize the 53-acre bayfront property near the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall. The mayor wants to make sure it's a cultural destination with open access for the public. Her Facebook Live event will start at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. You can take a trip back in time in Venice this weekend. 3 World War II era planes are now on display. A B-17, a B-24, and a P-51 Mustang are at the Venice airport as part of the Collins Foundation Wings of Freedom tour. They travel all around the country, giving people a chance to see these planes up close. You can even crawl inside to see what it was like to actually be in one. You can see these warbirds at the Venice Municipal Airport today through Sunday. Walkthrough tours are from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. Tickets are $15 for adults and $5 for kids 12 and under. Circus Sarasota is back with the debut set for tonight. The Big Top is all set up behind the UTC Mall. Circus Sarasota's new show is called Ovation. It honors the 250th anniversary of the modern circus and those who have impacted the art form. The performances again start tonight. They run through March 4th. That means 32 performances are headed our way over the next month. Ticket prices start at $15, and for a link for more information, just go to our website, mysuncoast.com. Time to get back to Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who's joining us live today from Venice in a restaurant called Côte France. Judy?
Well, Scott, I'm here with Stefan, and Stefan, you're going to walk us through these beautiful dishes that are just classic. I've had so many, but a few new ones that I'm excited to try. So let's start right over here with the quiche.
Okay, so we have in front of you quiche Lorraine, a classic dish for lunch. Quiche Lorraine we have inside bacon. It's a traditional quiche we can have for lunch. And after, we can discover a very gorgeous onion soup. It's a French onion soup. And I can give you a secret for this onion soup.
Oh, good.
We use, when we make onion soup, so in fact we use French baguette, French cheese, but inside we have onion, and we finish with white wine, red wine, and a little spoon of cognac.
Oh, I'm going to have to steal that idea. It's a cognac because I love that soup. And over here, the salmon.
Yeah, the salmon, we cook salmon like we cook in the south of France. It's pan-seared on the grill, one face with olive oil. And we use for this dish today sauce béarnaise sauce, mashed potatoes, and fresh asparagus.
Beautiful. Now over here, you've been excited about the scallops.
I love this dish. Scallops is my favorite dish for dinner. It's a big scallops, fresh scallops. The similar manner to cook, pan-seared in the grill, one face, two face. And after we use today linguine as a side, plus béarnaise sauce and fresh asparagus too.
And the duck breast, which I just think is fabulous.
Yeah. Duck breast is amazing. We are very lucky in Florida because we can find very good French providers, trust me. And now, at the beginning, it was difficult to find because the restaurant is open only from 2 years. So we found now good providers and we can import duck breast from France.
Fabulous.
Yeah, and really, duck breast came from France, and we cook in the oven. The sauce today, I think it's a crème de cassis sauce, I think. The potatoes is a small potato we cook in the oven with herbs, like my grandmother cooked, similar things. It's
and
fantastic.
Really quickly, tell us of beef bourguignon, such a classic and so delicious.
Yeah, it's the most classic dish we can have at the restaurant. people love this Bœuf Bourguignon because again, we cook a long time. To make Bœuf Bourguignon, it's 4-5 hours.
To make it that classic, it's so rich and beautiful. Now there's also a gorgeous tuna niçoise and rack of lamb, so delicious. So many choices, but don't go anywhere. It's time for dessert, and I think I'll have my dessert outside al fresco style.
Fact: the top 3 Marriott hotels in North and South America are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, according to a recent survey of 363 Marriott hotels. The Marriott at Grand National, the Marriott Shoals Hotel, and the Grand Hotel. And 2 of the top 3 Renaissance hotels are also on the trail: Ross Bridge in Birmingham and the Battle House in Mobile. Southern hospitality still rules. For reservations or information, visit rtjgolf.com/resorts.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I do that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
Everyone likes the 2018 Honda Civic for $169 a month. You made Civic a best-selling compact car in America. You'll like Civic's 5-star safety ratings and that KBB.com named Civic a best buy and the most awarded car. Get the 2018 Civic at a payment you'll love. $169 a month today at your local Honda dealer.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So all of the sunshine and the warm air, the moist air, which retains warmth, has boosted our temperature to 81 degrees already. Well above the average for this time of year. We should be at about 72 for a daytime high, and yet we still have several hours left of daytime heating. Plenty of sunshine mixed with a few fair weather clouds. Temperature coming in at dew point temperature coming in at 66. That's beginning, I think, for some folks to feel just a little bit on the humid side for this time of year, and that's going to be the case all weekend long. We are not going to lose any of that dew point value. Warm with a few sprinkles today, 20% chance of that happening, probably starting at around, I'd say 3, 4 o'clock. We'll probably see a few starting to pop up in inland areas and gradually drifting off to the north and the east, winding down by around 7 o'clock with a temperature of 75. We'll have overnight lows that eventually get into the lower 60s by the time you get up in the morning. It should be a beautiful start to the day with plenty of sunshine around. Putting the Futurecast into motion, temperatures generally everywhere around the 80 mark with a few scattered showers beginning to build. Nothing really heavy. Not looking at any thunderstorms. We are not seeing much in the way of rainfall totals out of these, and they'll only be few and far between, maybe building in a number a little bit as we head into the later part of the afternoon and then dissipating as we head into the evening. Then overnight, partly cloudy skies. Lower dew point values in the mid 60s or so, getting our nighttime temperature no lower than that. You can't get lower than the dew point. So we're going to hold our nighttime lows into the mid 60s, probably all the way through into next week. We'll look for a few scattered snow showers and some pockets of heavier snow showers in the northeast and the central Great Lakes regions. If you're traveling today, the airport hubs of Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, Cincinnati, all under the gun. We have around Atlanta area as well some upper level support for a few scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm as well. So we'll watch for that. There could be airport delays at the Atlanta airport. Northwest wind with an east wind overnight building, moderate chop to a light chop with 2-foot seas. And the forecast looks good for the week ahead with 83 today, 20% chance of showers, 82 tomorrow, 81 on Sunday. And Sunday probably the best of our 2 weekend days for a slight chance at a shower, 20% or so, nothing strong. And then over the next several days we continue to stay warm and mild on Valentine's Day. Should be a beautiful evening. Look for about 72 during the evening hours after a daytime high of 82. And then on Thursday, more sun in the 80s. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In HealthSmart, drowsy drivers are a bigger problem than you may realize. They not only put their lives at risk, but also everyone else on the road. Here's Reed Binion with more.
New research from the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety found that drowsy drivers are a bigger road risk than previously thought. Accidents are 3 times as great during the nighttime hours where drowsiness was a factor.
Similar to alcohol intoxication, your reflexes and responses and data processing speed would be slower.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says an estimated 1 in 25 adult drivers report having fallen asleep while driving in the previous 30 days. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that drowsy driving is responsible each year for about 83,000 crashes, 37,000 of them with injuries and nearly 900 deaths. If you're on the road, make sure you recognize the signs of drowsy driving: yawning or blinking frequently, missing your exit, or drifting from your lane. If you think you're too tired to drive, you probably are, so pull over. Better yet, don't get behind the wheel to begin with. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, how a group came together to put on the world's first zero-gravity dance party. We'll explain next.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured or arrested, I know this feels like the end of the road, but really it's the beginning of a long, potentially stressful process. So give us a call. Let us give you some peace of mind.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
It's Greek time! February 8th through the 11th at the 34th Annual St. Barbara Greek Festival. Bring your family and friends. Treat yourself to authentic Greek home cooking and pastries. Plus, dance to traditional Greek music. Visit a marketplace filled with crafts and jewelry from local artisans. Children will enjoy the kids' zone and everyone will have a good time. Bring your appetites and spend a day in Greece without leaving the area. The Greek Festival at St. Barbara Greek Orthodox Church just north of University Parkway, where Lockwood and Talevast roads meet. Yasu!
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke is a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Big changes are on the way for a favorite Suncoast destination. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, Mote Marine tells us all about their new aquarium and what it means for the future of the Suncoast Marine Laboratory. We'll try our hand at handmade chocolates with Peterbrook Chocolates, all to get ready for Valentine's Day. Plus getting the perfect curls with Cutting Loose Salon. And Cafe Barboso joins us in the kitchen.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
I promised you al fresco dining, and here we have it. It's a beautiful time to sit outside with a cool breeze right here in Venice at Côte France. We have the creme caramel. I mean, this is as classic and beautiful, all homemade, by the way. Classic creme brulee. And the tartine, something that I absolutely love. So come out to Venice, come to Côte France, to this beautiful spot. Whether it's weekend brunch, they're closed on Mondays. Reservations are recommended because it's a petite restaurant, but you're going to enjoy it. Have a great weekend, everybody, and bon appetit.
Thank you so much, Judy. Finally, this hour, you're looking at the world's first zero-gravity dance party. It was a weightless dance party where ravers enjoyed up to 30 seconds of weightlessness during each 8,000-foot descent on the parabolic flight, which means they go up, and then as they start to go down, you get that weightlessness. The venue, a customized Airbus A310, is usually used for astronaut training and scientific research. More than 30,000 people, though, entered a competition to win a spot on the flight, and winners were chosen from countries like South Korea, Australia, England, and the United States. Now, there's another name for that plane. Do you know what that is?
I do not.
The Vomit Comet. Because it tends to make you
that's what I have heard.
A little unsettled.
In astronaut training? Yes, that's what I have heard.
Yeah.
Always been kind of a dream of mine, though, to do something like that.
To do something weightless?
Yeah, it looks just amazing, right?
It does, yeah.
Did you experience that when you flew with the, what was it, the
Blue Angels.
Did you Blue Angels you flew
with? A little bit, but mostly it was, 6 or 7 Gs pushing you down.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if I could survive that.
Have a wonderful weekend ahead, and we invite you back at 5 o'clock.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today, and named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt would leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you, too.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs. And you learned how to not ignore yours. I discovered how to make healthier meals, and I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.